Hello and welcome. Now today's topic is all about space science, and it is about a new discovery for the Lumen 16, which is nothing but a brown dwarf. So let's see what is the new discovery. So a group of international astrophysicists have recently identified a striped pattern of the cloud bands on the surface of Lumen 16A, which is one of the pair of the binary brown dwarfs in the Vela constellation. So here some of the words are important, that is a binary brown dwarf and a Vela constellation. Now constellation is basically a group of stars forming some recognizable pattern that is traditionally named after its appearance or apparent form, or identified with a mythological figure, such as we may have seen the Saptarishi, or we may have seen Orion in the night sky, clear night sky. So these are some patterns of constellation. So this particular Lumen 16 is a part of this Vela constellation, and these cloud bands have similar to those seen on the Jupiter and Saturn. So in Jupiter and Saturn planets, astrophysicists have already found the cloud bands, and the particular cloud bands which are found in Lumen 16 is seeming to be similar to those patterns. Now these cloud bands, they have used the VLT, or the Very Large Telescope, at the European Southern Observatory, or ESO, which is located in the country of Chile, South America. And they have used a technique of polarimetry to determine the properties of atmospheric clouds outside the solar system. So the property or the particular technique which is used by the astrophysicists is the polarimetry. We will see what is the polarimetry is all about. So let's see what is this brown dwarf system, or the Lumen 16. Now Lumen 16A, which is in news, is a part of a binary system. That means there are two brown dwarf system, and Lumen 16A is one part of it, and which containing a second brown dwarf, that is Lumen 16B. So 16A and 16B are two brown dwarfs, and together 16A and B, it form a binary brown dwarf system. And this pair of brown dwarfs, 16A and B, orbits each other. Okay, so they are orbiting each other, and it is at a distance of about 6.5 light years from the Sun. So it is about a distance from 6.5 light years from the Sun, and the nearest known brown dwarf is Lumen 16. That is, this particular Lumen 16 is the nearest brown dwarf from the Sun. Now a binary system of brown dwarfs. This system is actually discovered in 2013. Okay, and something new has been discovered about the 16A in the very recent times. So it is the third closest known system to the Sun after the Alpha Centauri and the Barnard's star. So as you may be knowing that Alpha Centauri is the largest, is the nearest, it is the nearest known system from the Sun, and the next one is the Barnard star, and the Lumen 16 binary brown dwarf system is said to be the third nearest. So here in this picture you can see this is Sun here, and these are these particular circles, it represents the light years in distance from the Sun. Okay. Now first it is Oort cloud, and then it is this one, the yellow dot, and this is the Alpha Centauri, and inside the Alpha Centauri this is Proxima Centauri, and this one here is the Barnard's star, which is second nearest. And here in this here it is the particular Lumen 16 binary brown dwarf system here. Okay, and this is around 6.5 light years from the Sun. So yeah, now it is the third largest as we have seen it. Next, yeah, according to NASA, the brown dwarfs are mysterious worlds with with many unanswered questions about the properties and appearance, and they are too much big or too massive to be called planets, but not quite massive enough to be stars, because they are unable to trigger the nuclear burning inside their cores. So you may be knowing that inside our Sun's core, Sun is our star, and inside the Sun's core there is a reaction going on every time, which is the nuclear fusion reaction. Okay, the nuclear fusion reaction process of making a single heavy nucleus from two light nuclei, and it releases large amount of energy. This fusion reaction releases large amount of energy, and the nucleus made by fusion is heavier than either of the two starting nuclei. That means there were two nuclei at the beginning, and they are joined together, and they form a single large heavy nucleus, and this reaction releases a lot of heat, and this reaction is nothing but the nuclear fusion. And in this fashion, two hydrogen atoms are fused together to form helium. Hydrogen atoms, they are forming helium in nuclear fusion reaction. So each, let me go to the next point. Yeah, each brown dwarf in this system is similar to the size of Jupiter, but 30 times more massive. Both have the similar temperatures of around 1000 degrees Celsius. So what it means that the normal size, or the size that we can see, they are looking like a similar pattern, almost similar, but actually the brown dwarfs are 30 times more, they are having more mass, 30 times more mass than the Jupiter. So in this picture you can see the brown dwarfs is in here, and they are in between, placed just in between planets and exoplanets and the stars. So they are not as big as stars and not as small as the planets, but in between they are placing, the astronomers are placing these brown dwarf systems in between the stars and the planets. Okay. So what is the speciality about this particular discovery? Let's see. Now, as reported by Caltech is nothing but California Institute of Technology. While the evidence for cloud bands on the brown dwarfs have been seen before, this discovery represents the first time that these features have been discovered using an observing technique known as polarimetry. Now, the researchers have used the NECO instrument. NECO is nothing but near infrared imager and spectrograph. So, I will come to this in a moment, near infrared. And this NECO instrument is fitted on the VLT, that is the Very Large Telescope, which is placed in the Chile, in the Atacama Desert of the Chile country. And scientists have actually previously found the evidence of the patchy clouds. So, before this discovery, the scientists have already found out about the patchy cloud pattern in the brown dwarf systems on the other brown dwarfs of the pair, that is lumen 16b, but not bands. So, this time they have found out the cloud bands in the 16a. Okay. And how and why other brown dwarf may be different is yet to be yet unknown at this moment. And understanding the cloud system over a brown dwarf can shed some light on the properties of its pressure, temperature and the climate on the surface of these celestial bodies. So, this discovery is very important or very significant because it will give the scientists the insight about the climate patterns or its pressure, temperature, properties of the climate. So, this is a very significant discovery. So, now let us see what is polarimetry means is all about. Now, an electromagnetic wave such as light consists of coupled oscillating electric field and magnetic field, which are always perpendicular to each other by convention. Okay. Now, in this picture you can see here, this is the source here, and the light when it which is coming out of this source, you can see there are a number of different waves that are coming out, or fields it can be seen here. Now, they are in light, it is a magnetic field and electric field which are at 90 degree with each other, and here the polarization of the electromagnetic waves refers to the direction of the electric field. Now, in linear polarization, the fields oscillate in a single direction. As you can see here, some filters are placed, some filtering devices placed here, and after the filter device is placed, you can see the waveform is actually in a single direction. So, this is nothing but the linear polarization. Okay. Now, in the polarized polarized spectacles or goggles, this is the same thing what is happening. Whenever one or a people or a person wears the polarized sunglasses, there is some filter which filters out the different waves, and they put all the waves in a single direction. Okay, so there will be less interference or less scattering. Now, the astronomers have used an idea put forth nearly 2 decades ago by an Indian astrophysicist, Mr. Sujan Sengupta, who is at Indian Institute of Astrophysics, Bengaluru, that the light emitted by the cloudy brown dwarf or reflected off an extra solar planet will be polarized. Okay. So, he has said it a decade ago that light which is emitted from the brown dwarf system will be polarized. He suggested that a polarimetric technique could serve as a potential tool to probe the environment of those objects. Okay, he said it. Many astronomers detected the polarization of the brown dwarfs, but what is special in the newest study of lumen 16 system is that the researchers have found that actual structure of the clouds that they form bands over one of the pair, that is the in the 16A system they have found that it is forming cloud bands. Okay, and this lead to some new research about the climate system of this brown dwarf. The polarimetry technique isn't limited to brown dwarfs, it can also be applied to exoplanets. Exoplanets are the planets which are beyond the beyond our solar system, and or even stars. However, light from brown dwarfs is ideal for the study. Okay. Okay, now let's see about VLT, or the Very Large Telescope. Now this Very Large Telescope, just give me a minute. Yeah, this VLT, or Very Large Telescope, is located in European Southern Observatory, or ESO, on Cerro Paranal in Atacama Desert in northern Chile. And this is the location you can see. This are 4 telescopes placed. They are giant, very large telescope, and they are always finding new discovery, or they are always in making some new discovery about the outer planets or outer space. It consists of 4 telescopes, as can be seen. They are generally used separately. However, when used together, they give the highest resolution. Okay. Now ESO is basically organization of 16 European countries. 16 European countries or intergovernmental research organization for ground based astronomy, and it is established in 1962, and it is having headquarter in Garching in Germany. Okay. And the VLT operates at visible and infrared wavelength of the electromagnetic spectrum. Now this telescope is capable of detecting objects 4 million times fainter than it can be detected with the naked eye. Okay, so it is that much powerful. Now let's see what actually scientists have already found out on Jupiter. As this can be seen, the NASA image of the cloud belts on Jupiter. So this is about the cloud belts, and this type of cloud belt they have discovered in the brown dwarf system, that is Lumen 16A. Now this particular picture is taken by NASA's Juno spacecraft. So this is again a good general knowledge for you, that NASA's Juno mission or Juno spacecraft was used for the mission in the Jupiter, and this is seen in the Jupiter's southern hemisphere. Okay, the colorful swirling cloud. So this is all about this news. Thanks for watching.